What's going on, guys? It's your boy GS, and today we are bringing you guys game number 2 of me using the Oakland Raiders playbook, my Oakland scheme that I tried to figure out here. So today we are bringing you guys, as you see in the title, some Bears gameplay, and we figured we'll go ahead with the Bears. They definitely are balanced, good offense, really good defense. So they should hopefully be able to keep me in the game defensively as I'm trying out, the scheme for really the second time. So hopefully I can get multiple defensive stops, give my offense the chance to, try and work this thing out to see how it is. And you're gonna see me again. Disclaimer: you're gonna see me again going for it on 4th downs and things like that. Again, your boy does not change up his play style. Your boy's still sim and everything, but it's just I'm trying to utilize as many plays as I can as I'm working out this scheme to give myself as many repetitions. Many reps as possible. So to begin the game, we back up with color. We try to hit him with the streak, but we end up failing on that. So right here, I believe I have Johnny Knox on the inside. Tight end slot, or Devin Hester, one of the two. I don't know which one it was, but I think it was Hester. Yeah, it was Hester, to give myself some speed on the inside slant. So right here, we start out punting the ball on 4th and inches. We started out, sim. I want to go for it when I feel like I have to. So his offense wasn't on the field yet, so we feel like we'll punt him the ball on 4th and inches. Give our defense a chance to go ahead and see what they can do. So and plus I want to see what his offense can do and things like that. So right there, the Madden gods coming through. If you don't think they exist, you must not have been watching me for very long. We end up getting an interception right there, put us in great position to go ahead and do something like that. We run the ball with Forte, and we end up scoring a touchdown. Now, the scheme is from the single back ace, and I believe there was 2 running plays that I used from that formation. One was the counter, and 2, I believe, was like a HB zone weak or something like that. It was a run to the left. So, look at Julius Peppers chasing him down. Majority of the plays are all passing. So, again, the Jacksonville Jaguars, to me, was a run-heavy scheme, which I ran the ball tremendously well and a lot. And I only passed the ball when needed. I mean, I really think I was throwing like less than 15 attempts a game passing-wise, and I was running the ball a lot. But you see, he ends up punting me the ball on 4th and 4. Good riddance to him. You love to see when, you have people who like to punt the ball. So right there, we end up going to Hester on the outside, and we end up, hey, sexy lady, Gangnam style, as you see right there. And that formation has the bench play, which, caught my attention, to be able to have that out of the single back formation, which I thought was good. So I would run the bench play, and I would streak the inside and outside tight end. And, he also had a couple other good plays that I liked that I figured I could put together and be able to utilize. Right there, he goes up top and he ends up just, ends up putting his nuts all over my forehead. No homo. Ends up teabagging me right there. So he's moving the ball a little bit right here. He goes over the middle, and we end up swatting that down. So it's 3rd and 9, but he is in field goal territory. But I'm pretty sure he wants a touchdown right here. There I go with that strip button again, and he ends up breaking a tackle, getting it within the 6 with Golden Tate. Right here, he hands it off to the beast, Marshawn Lynch, and we end up stopping him. So again, he drops back, he's inside the pocket, he goes towards the right to Washington, on the 1 yard line, then he ends up just punching it in with Marshawn Lynch. So it's a 7-point game at this point. And one thing about the Bears, man, I want to be able to return it back. Man, mark my words. I was saying this to myself, man, mark my words, man. I'm going to run one back with Devin Hester. You best believe. Right there, we get a fumble. Unfortunately, man, he ends up recovering. Damn fumbles, man. Forte ends up fumbling on the first play of the possession, so he ends up recovering in really good territory. So he's pretty much, unless I get a turnover, he's pretty much guaranteed to score some type of points at this point. So 2nd and 10, just outside of the 12-yard line. He ends up scoring a touchdown over there towards the right. So it's a tie ball game. I mean, that sucked, but we give it back to Hester. Here's my attempt to take it all the way. Can we do it? No, we don't do it, man. There's something about running with Hester. You just really want to run it back. Right here, we're standing inside the pocket. Nobody's open, so we end up taking a sack to go down 8 yards. Right here, we back up, and we try the screenplay. We go to Forte. He ends up breaking a tackle, getting us a good extra, 5-6 yards right there. So right now, it's 3rd and 11, and we back up. We're standing in the pocket. We go over the middle to Brandon Marshall. No, so I think I had Brandon Marshall in that tight end slot instead of Hester and Knox. Yeah, that's what it was. I had Brandon Marshall on the tight end on the left, and right there we go back to Devin Hester on the outside, because Brandon Marshall is pretty solid in the tight end slot. His overall is pretty good. He's a good blocker, so whenever I did decide to run the ball, I'm not taking a huge hit and, not having a tight end block. Brandon Marshall definitely can block some opposing linemen for a little bit, So we're up 21-14. So that was my game plan. Utilize Brandon Marshall on the inside streak. Also have the tight end on the right side be able to use their speed that they have with Knox and Hester on the outside with the couple of plays that I was using. I don't know the name of them, man, but I'm gonna go back later, probably in my next video. I'm gonna go ahead and name the plays, actually name what they are, the routes that I was using. Right here, quick dump off to Leon Washington, and he's moving the ball again, but we are down 1 turnover, so hopefully we could get ourselves, back that possession, via a stop or a turnover myself. I want to be able to get the ball back to get that possession again, and he ends up just scoring a touchdown right there. So 21 all. Halftime is approaching, so we get the ball back, and he kicks it to Hester. Here we go. This is when I actually finally end up taking it all the way to the house with Devin. Actually, no, that doesn't happen. I end up getting stopped shy. So, again, we're back on offense, and we're still going with the single back A scheme right there. We do the running play to Forte. When I did run the ball, I used a lot of the counter. But you see, I only ran the ball 3 times. I'm trying to pass as much as possible, seeing if I could get together a good passing scheme out this formation. Right here, we're looking with color. Nobody's open. We try to scramble, but we end up getting sacked. So right now it's 3rd and 6, and we need this to be able to keep the chains moving. We end up getting hit as we throw. So right here we go for it on 4th down, and we're looking. We got somebody over the middle, and it's Brandon Marshall. We end up streaking him and finding him on the inside precision, and we end up scoring. So that right there was the biggest key to that formation. Being able to streak the tight ends is really tough to stop, especially with the quarterback that can precision it with high throwing power. Right there, definitely a huge mistake. We end up getting a safety. He ends up muffing the ball. Then he recovers it inside his end zone. We end up tackling him just in time before he can escape, and we end up getting a free 2 points. So, we'll go ahead and take that. So now we're up 9 points with the ball right here. We got the streak open, and I just couldn't nail that, man. Whenever people streak me, it always works. Whenever I do it, it's usually overthrown. And right there, we got another fumble by Matthew Forte. Come on, Matthew. How many fumbles are you going to cough up? His 2nd fumble of the game. I cannot get this guy to hold on to the ball. And that right there sucks, because again, it can put some in good territory. But we end up catching an interception. No soup for you, my friend. We end up stopping him in the red zone, which is a key stop right there. Right here, we got the play action. Look at that. Look, I can't get a streak to work to save my life. We end up finding him wide open on the streak, but he's overthrown still, and he has to dive to catch it, stopping a touchdown right there. All you have to do is catch him in stride. I don't know what it is about me and streaks, man. I can't get it. And instead of me scoring, I end up throwing an interception, just a bad read by me. And not only does he catch an interception, he ends up running it, pretty deep into his own territory. So that right there sucked, man. That should have been an easy touchdown. You couldn't have been more wide open than he was, but Cutler still managed to find a way to overthrow him. So 2nd and 10 with not much time left. So he ends up with 5 seconds left. He ends up, doing a smart thing and taking his points, making it a 1-possession game again. So 1 second left. Is he going to kick it to Hester? No, he ends up squibbing it. So we're going into halftime up 6. Definitely feel like we should be up 14, but damn, Cutler couldn't throw a streak route to save his life. So he gets the ball back, and he has an opportunity to, regain the lead. So hopefully we can stop him, and, Chicago has a really good defense. Right there, he throws it into a purple zone. Another interception. 3 piece. Our 3rd interception, I believe, of the game. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't know how many interceptions. Sometimes I'll be miscounting. But right there, we catch Brandon Marshall on the streak, and we end up catching him over the top for a touchdown. So he ends up coming through, and that right there was a huge interception. So, the Chicago Bears, with the new updates, their defense is vicious. Their pass defense is really good. Their run defense is really good. Their front line, just with Peppers being there, is really good. So overall, their defense, they have playmakers at literally every position. From D-line to linebackers to cornerbacks to safeties, they have playmakers all across the field. So definitely a really good defense. And they're doing what I expected them to do, which was to give me, a couple of stops and turnovers. Right there again, the streak, and he ends up holding on to that ball with Sidney Rice. And again, he's in good territory. He ends up running with the base Marshawn Lynch. He ends up scoring a touchdown, bringing it back to a one-possession game. So all he needs to do is be able to put together a stop, and you know, he can get the ball back with a chance to tie the game. Take the lead. Right there, still nothing good happens with Hester. I'm still trying, though. I'm going to keep trying. You know, as I was saying, it's like, come on, I can't run one back with Hester, the greatest returnman of all time. I can't take one back. Right in 2nd and 10, we end up dumping it off to Forte, and we end up getting a first down. Don't fumble. Whatever you do, don't fumble. You go out of bounds. That way you don't fumble. Fumble out of bounds. Fumble all you want, as long as it's out of bounds. Right here, we go to the streak route. We got him, but overthrown again. For whatever reason, I just can't get that streak route to go, man. Right there, we go to Brandon Marshall again on the inside streak, and we are killing him with that inside streak right here. We go to Davis, quick little check down, and we end up getting a first down. So again, we back up with Cutler. We're standing inside the pocket. We try to go to Hester, but it's unsuccessful. So 2nd down at this territory. It gets a little tough being able to score from this formation, but we're able to find Davis over there on the left to get ourselves almost within the 10-yard line. And we end up going to Forte right there. Gets us, only a yard. So right here, we back up. We're looking. We go back to Davis because we've been finding him in this drive wide open. So right here, we go to Forte. We try to run it, but it's tough. So it's 4th and 1. And, you know, we do what we got to do. We kick our field goal to give ourselves a 2-possession lead to, give ourselves the best opportunity to win. Yeah, it's 4th and 1. I kind of want to go for it, but it's like, you know what? No matter what he does on offense, even if he scores or not, I'm guaranteed to get the ball back with a lead. So, you know, we go up 2 possessions right there, which is key. So the 4th quarter starts, and we are down. We're up 9. But he's moving the ball, you know, outside of those couple of stops that, you know, we've made each other have. We pretty much have been moving the ball at will offensively. So, you know, one more stop, I feel like, you know, this game is over. But, you know, it's all a matter of being able to get that stop. We got a fumble, but unfortunately he recovers. So right here, you know, he's moving the ball. Got the streak route right there, and we end up going for it. We end up batting that down, dropping a pick. 2nd and 10, he ends up trying to sneak in a run, but we end up stuffing that. So it's 3rd and 9, crucial down right here. And he ends up backing up. He throws over towards the left, and he got him. And he ends up breaking a tackle, scoring a touchdown right there. So it's back to a 1-possession lead. So we get the ball back. Now, okay, Hester, this is your time to shine. This is what matters the most. Are you going to come through? We end up running, and we find a seam on the outside towards the right. And Devin Hester wiggles to the inside, and he goes back to the outside, and we end up scoring a touchdown. Devin Hester comes through when we needed him to. That right there was huge. We go back up 2 possessions, and we end up going for 2 to make it a 10-point game right there. So we end up coming through with Devin Hester, man. Absolutely huge kickoff return right there, being able to keep our offense off the field right there. And one more stop. Now this game is definitely over because there's not too much time left. And key injury right there. We end up injuring Rice right there, and I believe he was out for the game, so he wasn't able to have him on this last drive. We end up stopping him right there, and that's the end of the game. He ends up sending a concede, and we end up accepting that. So far using the Oakland scheme, we're 1-1, and we end up getting 13 points out of him. So I believe he was like a level 5 or 6. I'm stuttering. At this point, I believe I was a level 5. I think I'm a level 7 now under this account. But we end up winning 13 points. So far during this game was really effective. We utilized Brandon Marshall up the middle. We was able to hit Devin Hester on the outside for a couple times. Matt Forte outside of fumbling had a pretty good game. As always, it's your boy GS signing out. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter if you guys aren't already. Give it to me, baby.